Welcome back, friendlies. Axel here with my review of AEW Fight Forever. I have been looking forward to this game since it was first announced in 2020. It is here, and boy, is it fun. Let's get into it. AEW Fight Forever was developed by Ukes and published by THQ Nordic. The game has been released for the Xbox, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the Switch. I am playing it on the Series X. One of the big selling points that they have been pushing since the announcement of this game is that they are going old school with gameplay. With a great roster to pick from, I feel they've at least accomplished that part. This game is fun to play. Ukes spent years making wrestling games for the WWE, but after their split with 2K, Ukes wanted to make a wrestling game that was more of an arcade-style game than the sim-style games they had been making. AEW was gathering steam and was looking for a studio to make them a game. The timing couldn't have been better. Slap one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Kenny Omega, to help with the game 3 years later, and here we are. So I want to start off with the gameplay for this game. They took a lot of inspiration from the N64 wrestling games, and you can tell. Things like light and heavy strike and grabs, to the reversal system, to the exaggerated character models, to the short intros, to the camera view, etc. Hell, the first thing you'll notice when you start the game is that the wrestlers' health bars are directly from those classic games. Now, not everything here is copy and pasted. They made a lot of cool innovations to the gameplay to make the game stand out on its own. They have things like the ability to have 5 signature moves and 5 finishing moves, being able to turn certain moves into pins. There's all kinds of crazy environmental moves like a German suplex to the guardrails, power bombs to the stairs, or jumping off the guardrail into a hurricanrana. This game has all kinds of crazy weapons and special attacks that you can do with them, like putting trash cans on someone's head, kicking someone with a spiked boot, or my personal favorite, thumbtacks. Yes, thumbtacks. Did I mention how violent this game is? They even have the always entertaining exploding barbed wire match. The match types are limited, but there's plenty there for you to play with. Singles tag, 3-way, 4-way, battle royal. There are some weird decisions that were made in making this game. Like you can only do a one-on-one ladder match. There's no tornado tag setting. Also, matches like Falls Count Anywhere and Lights Out are strictly one-on-one. They also have some goofy Mario Party style minigames that you can play, but they feel lacking in any kind of depth. Sort of like the creation suite for this game. Now, going into it, I feel like they did a good job at telling people ahead of time that the creation stuff for this game isn't the deepest, and they weren't lying. On one hand, some things like your movesets can get pretty detailed with, but other things like clothes, face options, hair, etc. are very limited. You can't even make a character have a shirt on during matches. It's strictly only for your intros. You can edit and make extra outfits for the wrestlers already in the game, so that's a plus. I know that it's not fair to compare this smaller studio game to the WWE games, but as far as creation suites, it will take them a long time to get to where the 2K games are. They also don't have the ability to upload and download characters online. They do have online modes if you want to play with other players. I only played a few matches online, and from my experience, everything ran smooth. Speaking of running smooth, I would also like to add that the load times and cycling through menus runs very fast. The WWE games, although they have gotten better, still take a while for certain things to load, but in Fight Forever it's almost instantly. Now let's talk about the Road to Elite mode. This is their version of a career mode where you take either a create a character or an existing character and go through a story. This mode isn't very deep and only takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to complete. I've gone through it 3 times so far. Some things I like about it are you work up your character stats, and to do so, you have to manage things like your energy, your mental state, your injuries, and experience points. You can use the experience points to bring up specific stats like grappling moves, strikes, aerial speed, etc. Or you can use these points to give your character abilities like more specials, being able to attack people before the bell, stealing your opponent's finishing move, more aerial moves, buffs for attacks. In order to get these points, you have to win matches and train your guy. Now, the way the training works, you select what kind of training you want based on how your stamina is and what you're able to do before your next show. It reminds me of how the UFC games do it, but the good thing is they don't make you do same old training mini games like some of the other sports games do. That's one thing I do like. It's quick and you get straight to your matches. An issue with the elite mode though is that the story continues whether you win or lose, but I feel like sometimes makes zero sense. An example is I got asked to join Jericho's faction, and the very next week he attacked me and kicked me out. Another example is I attacked someone, and then 2 weeks later we were friends in a tag match together. Also, there's some story beats that are the same regardless what you do, like your tag partner stealing your luggage. All in all, Elite Mode is a cool idea, but like some of the other things in the game, it's not deep enough to keep you coming back. Another thing I liked as a throwback to No Mercy is the in-game shop. You can buy characters, moves, clothes, intro animations, and more with money you earned in the game. Best part is there's no microtransactions, so the prices are set to where you're able to unlock everything within a reasonable time. I've almost got most of it unlocked. So for the verdict, I really liked AEW Fight Forever. The matches are fun, lots of crazy things can happen, lots of cool moves are in the game and that lead to some awesome exchanges, but much of everything else needs to be fleshed out more. Much like another wrestling game that came out years ago. This was an excellent base for what could be an amazing wrestling game if they're able to make a Fight Forever 2. Maybe don't spend $60 on it right now, but if you catch this game on sale, it's definitely worth playing, especially if you're a wrestling fan. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.